everybody. Tonight I want to talk to you about HyperDocs and how you can use those to help you create a lesson and help students then manage the lesson on their own time during our non-traditional instruction days, or when you get back, maybe during your regular instruction days. So what we're going to talk about in this session are what a HyperDoc is. You're going to learn the basics of how to create a HyperDoc in Google Docs. We will look at how you might use Google Slides to do a similar thing. We'll look at how you can share those on Schoology or Seesaw, depending on what platform you use. And then we'll look at how you can go a little deeper and get interactive with HyperDocs and where you can go for more information. All right, so first, a HyperDoc is basically just a document with hyperlinks. Pretty simple, right? If we take a look at this one right here, this was a meeting agenda, and it's divided obviously into 3 columns, with the first being the topic. This is a very easy way for students to kind of step through the process. You might just put first, second, third, that kind of thing. Okay, and then in the middle, it details specifically what they're supposed to do, and where appropriate includes hyperlink out to things like a YouTube video. It might take them to another Google document, or it could take them to a website where they can get more information. All right. Typically with these types of HyperDocs, you start with a template. I really like this 5 E's template, and I will make this available to you. And it's really simple. You just think of how you want to engage your students. Might be, again, with a YouTube video. So you could just say, like, watch this video on Microsoft Teams. I know it's a little ironic that I'm putting that inside of a Google Doc, but you'll highlight where it says Microsoft Teams, come up here and choose Insert Link. And then you're just going to pull your YouTube link by pressing share and then copying that link and dropping it into the link field. And then press apply, and you have your first link in there. Okay, and then for Explore, you might drop a series of links for students to go to. You might tell them to take notes over these articles and then list the articles in bulleted form if you wanted to do that. But it's just sending students out to different places on the web, or even directing them to a textbook. For Explain and Elaborate, you might tell them to go ahead and access Schoology and respond to a discussion. Okay, for Elaborate, they may do a project of some kind and get creative. And then Evaluate would be just directing them to take some sort of online assessment possibly, or to turn in some kind of work. Basically, though, you're just dropping in information where it needs to go. Okay, so that's how you create it on a Google Doc using a template. Okay, the next way you could create a HyperDoc is through Google Slides. And I really actually prefer Google Slides because you can get a lot more visual. So if I was going to create something on, again, Microsoft Teams, I know I'm being super ironic, I can make this look a little cooler by using add-ons like Unsplash Images. So I like this for the visual appeal. And then I can change out the way this looks by pressing the Explore feature. Okay, and that is just gonna help me to organize my information a little bit easier. Now, when I go to the next slide, I could add in a YouTube video really quickly. This would be great for if you're reading stories or have stories that are being read, or you need kids to just watch like a simple clip of something. So, you would just say, watch this video, and then you go to Insert Video, and then you can just search right from the search field here. Find the video you want to use, press Select. And then if it's a longer video and you don't want them to watch the whole thing, You can click on that, choose Format Options, Video Playback, and then you can sort of scrub the video forward and start it at a specific time, and then you could end it at a specific time. So students aren't maybe watching a whole 15-minute video if they only need 5 minutes of that video. So when that's set, that will autoplay that for them at the specific time that you request and end it at the specific time that you request, which is a really good hack. All right, and then a next one might be to read an article. And then you could just drop in the link here. So you might give some directions. Whatever you're doing, you want them to be active in that. And you would just copy and paste your link and then come back into your document, highlight that, right click, insert link, and apply. And now you have a link there inside of your Google Slides. And again, I just really almost prefer Google Slides for this because students can click through it page by page and it's easier to step through. Okay, so let's talk about then how you're going to share these in the different platforms. So to share them, what you'll do is you'll go to share. Okay, and then you're going to choose get a shareable link. And we need to make sure that we're checking our permissions. So right now, anyone at Fort Thomas can view it. And that might be enough if students are in Schoology and they're already signed into Google, and it's not going to ask them to sign in. But if you're working with younger students, you might need to change those permissions because they might not be logged into Google. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press here to view. I'm going to go down to more, and then I'm just going to say anyone with the link can view. And I'm going to press save. And now I can copy my link, pop over to my Schoology course, go to add materials, and you're probably going to have this organized into a folder, and you could just add a link. Okay, and now that is in there for students to pull up and view. Okay, so that's how you would get something into Schoology. If you want to put something into Seesaw, it'll be basically the same process. We're going to do this with your Google Slides. For Google Slides, it's a little different because you probably want to actually publish this to the web. So you could, if you're dropping it into Schoology, just go to share, get a shareable link. Remember to change it so anyone with the link can view, and save that. So you could grab that link and put that in there. Or the other way to do this is to go to File, Publish to the Web. Okay, we're just going to do it as a link. Publish. Okay, and grab that link. And then when you come over to Seesaw, you're going to go to Add, Post Student Work, or possibly an assignment, depending on what you want. Link, paste that URL in. And here you can say, okay, yeah, you could use the Google Drive integration, or you could just continue as it is. So I'm going to continue as it is. Okay, you could record some voice directions over top of it because, you might be working with younger students who can't read very well or need some extra prompting. But when you're finished, you just press that green check mark, send it out to all your students. Okay, choose a folder if you have folders, and green check mark again. And now that should be in Seesaw for everyone to see. And if I pull up my little sample here, you can kind of see here. As a student, I can see that. I can pop that open, navigate through. Okay, and then just play the video. You could just press on the web cam Okay, that would be great if you are trying to show multiple videos for one lesson. So instead of trying to like use a ton of different videos and putting in a bunch of different posts, you could just contain all of that inside of one um, slides. And it would make it so much easier for the kids to just view. Okay, so basics. That was how you create a HyperDoc in Google Docs, how you create a very basic HyperDoc and Google Slides with videos. Now let's talk about how you can get these a little bit more interactive. So to build in some interactivity, a lot of times on Google Docs, what you might do is just add in a response spot. So that's basically what I have on this one, where students would be typing notes about what they're viewing or what they're reading, or maybe putting just a couple bullet points just to show that they checked in on something on a third column. So if I was going to do that, let's go to a new document real quick. If you don't know how to set up a table in Google Docs, it's very easy. So you'll go to Insert, Table, and then I just create a 3-column table because I like to have kind of just a topic. So it would be kind of task, directions, student notes. And then I'm going to have my students type their notes directly into this box. So here we might have read this article. And then you could put some directions here. Okay. So that's my Google Doc. Now I want to get that into Schoology. So I'm just going to call this task. In Schoology, I'm going to go to Add Materials, Add Assignment, give it a name, maybe add some directions, and then I'm just going to come down here to my Google Drive assignments. It's right up here on top. I'm going to choose that, attach it, do all your graded stuff if you're going to grade it, and then press create, and that creates the template for each student. And then as the teacher, you can go in and you can check in on that work and make sure that students are understanding and getting the work okay, and making sure that they hit each of their tasks. So that's a super easy way to manage a Google Doc. Now with the Google Slides, you can do the same thing. So I created this, HyperDoc before with the Google Slides. I want to show you a little fancier one that you can use. And this is called a Smashboard. And so with the Smashboard template, the way this one is set up is here are the directions. And I will give you guys links to these as well. So here's the directions. And what this would do is it would work them through step by step what they have to do. And this one gives them choice. So, for example, here, I have all of these inside of here hyperlinked to different slides. To do that, I just put a picture on here. I right click and up here you can choose link. And then I just linked inside the presentation to slide 3. So what would happen is they would click here on slide 3 and it would take them down to slide 3, and then you would customize it and tell them what to do in slide 3. And then when they're finished, they would click home. And that's going to take them back to the main board. Well, it should. I clicked something wrong. And then the next thing is fill in a graphic organizer. So they're just going to fill in the graphic organizer here by typing. Okay. And then they get to reading choice, and it would give them a number of different things that they could do with the reading assignment. They might do a discussion. They might do another skill practice. There's all kinds of options here, but basically this would be a language arts one. You could customize this and use it for anything. I do have just a list of all these different features and options that they could do. When they get down into it, they could create a video and put the video right in here so that you could see the video. They could do a drawing and take a picture of the drawing and upload that into this. So it just gives them a lot more interaction and a lot more freedom to choose. It's pretty like high end there, but if you wanted help with that, I can totally help you design something like this. Okay, so to get that in to Schoology, you do the same thing. You just insert it as a Google assignment, and then students get their very own copy. And with that copy, they interact all over the place with that, and you can see it all. So that's a lot when it comes to HyperDocs. But it can totally help you engage students in a different way and provide them very quickly with content all in one location. If you need help, give me a shout. I'm here to help you. Bye, guys.